Hello there, and welcome to another gentle journey through the mysteries of our ancient past. Tonight, we're going to discover together 100 fascinating things about the lost civilizations of the ancient world, those remarkable societies that once flourished across our planet before vanishing into the mists of time, leaving behind only tantalizing clues about their achievements, their daily lives, and the circumstances that led to their disappearance. As you settle into comfort tonight, let your breathing slow and your mind drift back through millennia to a time when great cities rose from jungle floors, when master builders constructed monuments that still puzzle archaeologists today, and when entire peoples developed sophisticated cultures that would eventually fade into legend and archaeological mystery. What makes the study of lost civilizations so particularly soothing for contemplation is how it reminds us of both the impermanence of human achievement and the enduring creativity of the human spirit. These vanished societies left behind beautiful artifacts, impressive architectural remains, and profound questions that invite us to imagine lives lived long ago in very different worlds from our own. The ancient city of Atlantis, first described by the Greek philosopher Plato around 360 BC, has captured imaginations for over 2 millennia, representing humanity's fascination with lost golden ages and advanced civilizations that may have existed beyond our current historical knowledge. As you begin to relax tonight, imagine yourself as an archaeologist carefully brushing sand away from ancient stones, or perhaps as an explorer discovering hidden ruins deep in a forgotten valley. The lost civilizations we'll explore together created art, developed technologies, built magnificent structures, and lived rich cultural lives that speak to universal human experiences of creativity, community, and meaning making. The Indus Valley civilization, which flourished from approximately 3,300 to 1,300 BCE, covered a larger area than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined, yet remained completely unknown to modern scholarship until the 1920s, when archaeological excavations revealed sophisticated urban centers with advanced drainage systems and standardized weights and measures. Tonight, we'll explore how these mysterious societies developed in isolation or through long-distance trade networks, creating unique solutions to human challenges of governance, architecture, agriculture, and artistic expression. Their stories offer both humbling reminders of how much we don't know about our past and inspiring examples of human ingenuity and adaptability. The mysterious sea peoples who appeared in ancient Egyptian and Near Eastern records around 1200 BCE, launched devastating attacks across the eastern Mediterranean before vanishing from historical records, leaving scholars to debate whether they were displaced refugees, organized raiders, or representatives of unknown civilizations. Let yourself drift as we journey through time to visit the ruins of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, where hunter-gatherers built massive stone circles over 11,000 years ago, challenging our assumptions about when human societies became capable of monumental architecture and complex religious practices. As we explore these 100 gentle mysteries about lost civilizations, you'll discover how archaeological evidence continues to reshape our understanding of human development and cultural achievement. These vanished societies remind us that creativity, spirituality, and social organization have deep roots in human history, often appearing earlier and in more sophisticated forms than previously imagined. The builders of Göbekli Tepe created elaborate stone pillars decorated with relief carvings of animals and abstract symbols, then deliberately buried their temple complex around 8000 BCE for reasons that remain completely mysterious to modern archaeologists and historians. So relax completely now and let your imagination carry you to ancient times when unknown architects designed structures that still inspire wonder, when mysterious peoples developed writing systems we cannot yet decode, and when entire civilizations rose to greatness before disappearing so completely that their very existence became legend. As we embark on this gentle exploration of 100 things about lost civilizations, let's take a moment to understand the beautiful journey we'll share together tonight. The world we're about to enter spans thousands of years and touches every continent where humans have lived, from the Americas to Asia, from Africa to Europe and the Pacific Islands. The Minoan civilization of ancient Crete developed Europe's first known palace complexes around 2000 BCE, complete with sophisticated frescoes, indoor plumbing, and elaborate religious ceremonies, before mysteriously declining around 1450 BCE, possibly due to natural disasters or invasion by Mycenaean Greeks. Our peaceful journey will reveal how lost civilizations emerged in diverse environments and faced various challenges that ultimately led to their disappearance. Some vanished due to natural disasters like volcanic eruptions or climate change. Others succumbed to warfare or invasion, and still others seem to have gradually abandoned their cities and dispersed for reasons we may never fully understand. The Olmec civilization of ancient Mexico, flourishing from approximately 1200 to 400 BCE, created massive basalt head sculptures weighing up to 50 tons and developed one of the earliest writing systems in the Americas, yet left no clear record of their political structure or the reasons for their cultural decline. Tonight, we'll discover how these societies often achieved remarkable sophistication in areas like urban planning, artistic expression, agricultural innovation, and astronomical observation, sometimes surpassing later civilizations in particular technical or cultural achievements. Easter Island's Rapa Nui culture created nearly 1,000 massive stone statues called moai between 1250 and 1500 CE, developing sophisticated techniques for carving, transporting, and erecting these monuments before their society experienced dramatic population decline and cultural transformation. We'll explore together how lost civilizations often emerged in what archaeologists call cultural hearths, regions where particular combinations of geography, climate, and resources enabled the development of complex societies that would influence vast surrounding areas. The Nazca culture of ancient Peru, thriving from approximately 100 to 700 CE, created enormous geoglyphs visible only from the air, including lines, geometric shapes, and animal figures that stretch for kilometers across the desert. Their purpose and method of creation remaining subjects of ongoing archaeological debate. Our gentle investigation will reveal how many lost civilizations achieved remarkable longevity, sometimes persisting for over 1,000 years before their eventual disappearance. This longevity suggests sophisticated social, economic, and environmental management systems that sustained large populations across many generations. The ancient city of Cahokia, located in present-day Illinois, reached its peak around 1050 CE with a population that may have exceeded 20,000 people, making it larger than London at the time, complete with massive earthen mounds, sophisticated urban planning, and long-distance trade networks. We'll discover how archaeological techniques continue to unveil new information about these vanished societies, from ground-penetrating radar that reveals hidden structures to chemical analysis of ancient artifacts that provides insights into diet, trade relationships, and technological capabilities. The Harappan cities of the Indus Valley featured standardized brick sizes, sophisticated water management systems, and evidence of centralized planning, yet they left no clearly identified palaces, temples, or royal burials, suggesting a remarkably egalitarian society, unlike other contemporary civilizations. As we continue our exploration, you'll learn how lost civilizations often developed in response to environmental challenges, creating innovative solutions for managing water resources, adapting to climate variations, and maximizing agricultural productivity in diverse landscapes. Tonight's journey will show how these vanished societies frequently maintained extensive trade networks that connected distant regions, exchanging not only goods, but also technologies, artistic styles, and cultural practices across vast geographical distances. The mysterious Antikythera mechanism, discovered in a Roman shipwreck dating to approximately 100 BCE, represents sophisticated Greek technological knowledge that was subsequently lost for over a millennium, demonstrating how advanced capabilities can disappear even from well-documented civilizations. Let yourself relax as we explore how archaeological discoveries of lost civilizations continue to challenge and expand our understanding of human capabilities, creativity, and social organization throughout history. To understand the beautiful tapestry of lost civilizations, we need to drift gently back through time to discover how these remarkable societies emerged from the broader story of human cultural development across the globe. Archaeological evidence reveals that complex civilizations have risen and fallen throughout human history, often in cycles that reflect the ongoing dance between human ambition and environmental reality. The ancient civilization that built Çatalhöyük in Turkey around 7,500 BCE created one of the earliest known urban settlements, where thousands of people lived in connected houses accessed through roof openings, developing sophisticated practices of community governance and artistic expression. The development of agriculture around 10,000 years ago created the foundation for all subsequent complex civilizations, providing the food surplus necessary to support specialized roles like craftsmen, priests, administrators, and artists who could dedicate their time to non-subsistence activities. The Vinca culture of southeastern Europe, flourishing from approximately 5,500 to 4,500 BCE, developed what may be among the earliest writing systems, created sophisticated metallurgy techniques, and built large settlements before mysteriously disappearing during the late Neolithic period. As agricultural societies grew more complex, they often concentrated in river valleys and coastal regions where fertile soil and reliable water sources could support dense populations. These geographical advantages frequently led to the emergence of city-states and regional powers that would dominate their areas for centuries. The Cucuteni Trypillian culture of Eastern Europe, existing from approximately 5,500 to 2,750 BCE, built some of the largest settlements in the world at the time, housing up to 15,000 people in carefully planned circular arrangements, before abandoning their sites and leaving few traces of their ultimate fate. Climate change played a crucial role in the rise and fall of many ancient civilizations. Periods of favorable weather often coincided with cultural flowering, while droughts, floods, or cooling temperatures could stress agricultural systems and destabilize even sophisticated societies. The Norte Chico civilization of Peru, dating to approximately 3,500 BCE, developed monumental architecture and complex urban centers without pottery or visible art, challenging archaeological assumptions about the necessary components of early civilizations. Trade networks emerged early in human history, connecting distant regions and enabling the exchange of rare materials, technological innovations, and cultural ideas. Many lost civilizations owe their prosperity to strategic positions along these ancient commercial routes. The Tartessos civilization of southwestern Spain, known to ancient Greek and Phoenician traders as a source of silver and other metals, flourished from approximately 1000 to 500 BCE before vanishing so completely that its exact location remains disputed among archaeologists. The development of metallurgy, particularly bronze and ironworking, often marked periods of rapid cultural advancement. Societies that mastered these technologies gained significant advantages in tools, weapons, and artistic capabilities. The Nuragic civilization of Sardinia, lasting from approximately 1800 to 238 BCE, built thousands of distinctive stone towers called nuragje across their island, developing a unique architectural tradition and maintaining their cultural independence for over a millennium. Writing systems, when they developed, often preserved information about earlier societies that had already vanished. Many lost civilizations are known to us only through references in the records of later peoples who encountered their ruins or remembered them in oral traditions. The Kingdom of Kush, centered in present-day Sudan, ruled Egypt as the 25th dynasty around 760 to 656 BCE and maintained an independent civilization for over 1,000 years, building distinctive pyramids and developing their own hieroglyphic writing system. Religious and ceremonial practices often left the most durable archaeological evidence of lost civilizations. sacred sites built to last for eternity frequently survived long after the societies that created them had disappeared. The poverty point culture of Louisiana, flourishing from approximately 1700 to 1100 BCE, created massive earthwork complexes and maintained trade networks stretching across much of North America, yet left no clear evidence of permanent settlements or social hierarchies. The collapse of civilizations, while often appearing sudden in archaeological records, usually resulted from combinations of factors rather than single catastrophic events. Economic strain, environmental pressures, social conflicts, and external threats typically interacted over decades or centuries. The Jomon culture of Japan, lasting from approximately 14,000 to 300 BCE, developed sophisticated pottery traditions and sustainable hunter-gatherer practices that supported sedentary communities for over 13,000 years, representing one of the longest-lasting cultural traditions in human history. Many lost civilizations demonstrated remarkable resilience, adapting to changing conditions and maintaining their cultural traditions through multiple challenges before eventually succumbing to pressures they could not overcome or choosing to transform into something entirely different. The Tagar culture of southern Siberia, existing from approximately 800 to 100 BCE, developed distinctive bronze and iron working traditions and created elaborate burial practices, yet left few traces of their settlements or political organization. Archaeological evidence often reveals that the collapse of civilizations was more complex than simple abandonment, involving gradual population dispersal, cultural transformation, and the integration of survivors into neighboring societies. The Gandhara civilization, flourishing in present-day Pakistan and Afghanistan, from approximately 600 BCE to 1000 CE, created distinctive Buddhist art that blended Greek, Persian, and Indian influences before gradually being absorbed into expanding Islamic cultures. Understanding lost civilizations requires piecing together fragmentary evidence from multiple sources: archaeological remains, written records from other cultures, scientific analysis of artifacts, and careful interpretation of landscape modifications that reveal ancient human activity. As we drift deeper into our exploration of ancient wisdom, let's discover how these lost civilizations continue to influence and inspire our modern world, offering valuable insights about human ingenuity, cultural adaptation, and the eternal human quest for meaning and beauty. the rediscovery of Pompeii and Herculaneum in the 18th century revolutionized archaeological methods and popular interest in lost civilizations, providing unprecedented glimpses into daily life in the ancient world and inspiring subsequent expeditions to uncover other vanished societies. Modern archaeological techniques have revealed that many supposedly primitive ancient societies possessed sophisticated knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, engineering, and medicine that in some cases surpassed later civilizations in specific areas of expertise. The decipherment of ancient scripts like Linear B and hieroglyphics has opened windows into the thoughts, beliefs, and daily concerns of people who lived in lost civilizations, revealing that human experiences of love, loss, ambition, and creativity remain remarkably consistent across time and culture. The discovery of the Antikythera mechanism demonstrated that ancient Greek civilization possessed mechanical and astronomical knowledge that was far more advanced than previously believed, challenging assumptions about technological progress being purely linear. Environmental archaeology has revealed how lost civilizations developed sustainable practices for managing natural resources, offering potential solutions for contemporary environmental challenges and insights into long-term human-environment relationships. The study of lost civilizations has inspired countless works of literature, art, and popular culture, from Atlantis stories to archaeological adventure films, demonstrating humanity's enduring fascination with mystery, discovery, and connection to our ancient past. Modern DNA analysis has revealed previously unknown connections between ancient populations, showing how lost civilizations contributed to the genetic heritage of contemporary peoples, and how migration, trade, and cultural exchange shaped human development across continents. The preservation techniques developed for studying ancient artifacts have influenced contemporary conservation efforts, helping protect cultural heritage sites and objects that might otherwise be lost to time, weather, or human destruction. Indigenous oral traditions around the world often contain memories of lost civilizations, providing alternative perspectives on ancient history that complement and sometimes challenge archaeological interpretations based solely on material evidence. The interdisciplinary approach required to study lost civilizations has fostered collaboration between archaeologists, historians, climatologists, linguists, and other specialists, creating new methodologies for understanding complex historical processes. Remote sensing technologies originally developed for studying lost civilizations have found applications in contemporary urban planning, environmental monitoring, and resource management, demonstrating how archaeological research contributes to modern problem solving. The ethical frameworks developed for excavating and studying lost civilizations have influenced contemporary approaches to cultural heritage, protection, indigenous rights, and international cooperation in archaeological research. Ecotourism, focused on lost civilization sites, has created economic incentives for preservation while raising public awareness about the importance of protecting archaeological heritage for future generations. The documentation techniques used to record lost civilization sites have preserved detailed information about places subsequently destroyed by development, warfare, or natural disasters, creating irreplaceable archives of human cultural achievement. Educational programs based on lost civilizations have inspired countless young people to pursue careers in archaeology, history, and related fields, ensuring continued investigation and interpretation of our ancient past. The restoration of ancient techniques discovered through study of lost civilizations has revived traditional crafts and construction methods, preserving cultural knowledge that might otherwise have been permanently lost. International conventions protecting archaeological sites grew partly from recognition of how easily evidence of lost civilizations could be destroyed, creating legal frameworks that help preserve our shared human heritage. The study of lost civilizations has contributed to broader understanding of how societies adapt to climate change, providing historical perspectives on resilience and transformation that inform contemporary planning for environmental challenges. Museums displaying artifacts from lost civilizations have become spaces for cross-cultural dialogue and education, helping visitors appreciate both the diversity and commonality of human experience across time and geography. The dating techniques developed for studying lost civilizations have applications beyond archaeology, contributing to fields like geology, climatology, and biology that require precise understanding of past events and processes. Now let us drift into the heart of our exploration, discovering the rich details that made these lost civilizations so remarkable and that continue to puzzle and inspire archaeologists, historians, and curious minds around the world. The Indus Valley cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro featured sophisticated urban planning with standardized brick sizes, advanced drainage systems, and what appear to be public baths. Yet archaeologists have found no evidence of palaces, temples, or weapons, suggesting a remarkably peaceful and egalitarian society. The mysterious script of the Indus Valley civilization consists of approximately 400 distinct symbols found on seals, pottery, and other artifacts, but despite decades of scholarly effort, the language remains undeciphered, leaving the thoughts and records of this advanced civilization locked away from modern understanding. The Indus Valley people developed a standardized system of weights and measures that remained consistent across their vast territory, indicating sophisticated trade networks and centralized authority despite the absence of obvious governmental buildings or royal burials. Evidence from Indus Valley sites suggests that their society practiced careful environmental management, including sophisticated water storage and distribution systems that sustained large urban populations in a challenging semi-arid environment. The sudden abandonment of major Indus Valley cities around 1900 BCE may have resulted from a combination of factors including climate change, river course changes, and possibly declining trade relationships, though the exact causes remain mysterious. The Sea Peoples who attacked Egypt and other Eastern Mediterranean civilizations around 1200 BCE arrived in fleets described by Egyptian texts as carrying entire families and belongings, suggesting they were displaced populations seeking new homes rather than temporary raiders. Egyptian records describe the Sea Peoples as skilled warriors who use advanced bronze weapons and fighting techniques, sometimes arriving by land and sea simultaneously in coordinated attacks that overwhelmed established kingdoms. The origins of the Sea Peoples remain one of archaeology's greatest mysteries, with proposed homelands including Anatolia, the Aegean Islands, Sicily, Sardinia, and various other Mediterranean regions, but no conclusive evidence has identified their point of departure. Some scholars suggest the Sea Peoples may have been refugees from the collapse of the Mycenaean civilization in Greece, driven to seek new territories after their own societies succumbed to internal conflicts or natural disasters. The attacks of the Sea Peoples coincided with the late Bronze Age collapse, a period of widespread destruction and abandonment that affected civilizations across the Eastern Mediterranean, possibly representing a cascade of interconnected societal failures. The Minoan civilization of Crete developed the first known palace complexes in Europe, featuring elaborate multi-story buildings with sophisticated frescoes depicting dolphins, lilies, and elegant court scenes that suggest a culture that valued beauty and natural harmony. Minoan society appears to have been relatively peaceful, with minimal evidence of fortifications or weapons in their archaeological record. And their art frequently depicts women in prominent roles, suggesting possible goddess-centered religious practices. The famous Minoan snake goddess figurines, with their elaborate dresses and raised serpents, may represent priestesses or deities associated with earth fertility and protection, reflecting religious beliefs centered on natural cycles and feminine power. The eruption of the Thera volcano around 1650 BCE created massive tsunamis that may have devastated Minoan coastal settlements, though the civilization continued for several centuries afterward, suggesting resilience despite this natural catastrophe. Linear A, the script used by the Minoans, remains undeciphered despite extensive scholarly efforts, leaving their administrative records, religious texts, and personal communications inaccessible to modern understanding. The Olmec colossal heads, carved from basalt, transported over 100 kilometers from quarries to their final locations, required sophisticated knowledge of sculpture techniques, logistics, and probably coordinated labor involving hundreds of workers. Olmec sculptures and art frequently depict were-jaguar motifs, combining human and feline features in ways that suggest shamanic transformation, beliefs, and religious practices involving animal, spirit guides, and supernatural metamorphosis. The Olmec developed one of the earliest long-count calendar systems in Mesoamerica, demonstrating sophisticated astronomical knowledge and mathematical concepts that would influence later civilizations, including the Maya. Olmec sites contain evidence of elaborate drainage systems, ritual ball courts, and precisely oriented ceremonial complexes, indicating complex social organization and shared religious practices across their cultural area. The decline of Olmec civilization around 400 BCE preceded the rise of later Mesoamerican cultures, suggesting they provided foundational cultural and technological innovations that subsequent societies built upon and refined. The Easter Island moai statues were carved primarily from volcanic tuff at the Rano Raraku quarry, where nearly half of all statues remain, many partially buried by centuries of soil accumulation that hid their full-body forms until recent archaeological investigation. Rapa Nui oral traditions describe the moai as walking from their quarry to ceremonial platforms around the island, a legend that recent experiments have shown may be literally accurate, using rope techniques to rock the statues upright across the landscape. The red stone top knots called pukao that crown some moai were quarried from a different location and represent a separate phase of statue completion, possibly indicating evolving religious practices or changing social hierarchies. Easter Island's deforestation, which eliminated the palm forests that originally covered much of the island, may have resulted from a combination of human clearing, rat introduction, and climate change, rather than simply over-exploitation, as earlier theories suggested. The Rongorongo script found on Easter Island represents one of the few independent inventions of writing in human history, though efforts to decipher these symbolic texts have yielded only partial understanding of their meaning and use. The Nazca lines include not only the famous animal figures visible from the air, but also thousands of straight lines, geometric shapes, and other markings that may have served as sacred pathways for religious processions or astronomical observations. Recent archaeological evidence suggests that the Nazca lines were created over many centuries by different groups, with some figures being modified or expanded over time, indicating long-term cultural continuity and evolving religious practices. The Nazca people developed sophisticated underground aqueduct systems called puquillos that brought water from highland sources to their desert settlements, some of which continue to function today after more than 1,500 years. Nazca textiles, preserved by the dry climate, display incredible artistic sophistication with complex geometric patterns and vivid colors created from natural dyes, representing some of the finest prehistoric textile work ever discovered. The purpose of the Nazca lines remains debated, with theories including astronomical calendar markers, pilgrimage routes, water ceremony paths, and offerings to sky gods, though multiple functions may have operated simultaneously. The Poverty Point culture of Louisiana created massive earthwork complexes without metal tools, using sophisticated knowledge of soil engineering and landscape modification to build structures that have survived for over 3,000 years. Poverty Point artifacts include thousands of fired clay cooking balls used for food preparation, indicating sophisticated culinary techniques and possibly large-scale food processing for ceremonial feasts or trade purposes. The trade networks centered at Poverty Point brought materials from across North America, including copper from the Great Lakes, stone from the Appalachians, and shells from the Gulf Coast, indicating extensive commercial relationships. Poverty Point's decline around 1100 BCE may have resulted from climate change that affected river systems and trade routes, though the lack of clear defensive architecture suggests the abandonment was peaceful rather than violent. The cultural influences of Poverty Point can be traced in later southeastern North American societies, suggesting that knowledge and practices developed there spread to influence subsequent indigenous civilizations. The Jomon culture of Japan created some of the earliest pottery in human history, with elaborate rope pattern decorations that give the culture its name and demonstrate sophisticated artistic traditions dating back over 10,000 years. Jomon hunter-gatherer societies developed sedentary villages and complex social hierarchies despite not practicing agriculture, challenging archaeological assumptions about the relationship between farming and cultural complexity. The Jomon created elaborate clay figurines called dogu with exaggerated features and mysterious symbolic decorations, possibly representing fertility goddesses, shamanic spirits, or magical protective objects. Jomon shell mounds provide detailed records of diet and environmental change over millennia, revealing how these societies adapted to climate variations and marine resource fluctuations while maintaining cultural continuity. The transition from Jomon to Yayoi culture around 300 BCE marked the introduction of rice farming and metal technology to Japan, though Jomon genetic and cultural influences continued in subsequent Japanese populations. As we drift toward the peaceful conclusion of our journey through lost civilizations, let's discover how all these fascinating fragments weave together into a unified understanding of human creativity, resilience, and the eternal cycles of cultural rise and transformation. Lost civilizations demonstrate that human societies have always been remarkably creative and adaptable, developing sophisticated solutions to environmental challenges and creating beautiful expressions of artistic and spiritual vision regardless of their technological limitations. The study of vanished societies reveals that cultural complexity can emerge in many different forms. From the peaceful cities of the Indus Valley to the monumental architecture of Easter Island, showing that there is no single path to achieving sophisticated civilization. Archaeological evidence from lost civilizations indicates that ancient peoples possess detailed knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, engineering, and medicine that was often passed down through oral traditions and practical apprenticeships rather than written texts. The trade networks connecting lost civilizations demonstrate that ancient societies were far more interconnected than previously believed, sharing technologies, artistic styles, and cultural practices across vast distances long before modern transportation and communication. Environmental factors played crucial roles in both the rise and decline of lost civilizations. revealing how human societies must maintain careful balance with their natural surroundings to achieve long-term sustainability and cultural continuity. The religious and ceremonial practices of lost civilizations often emphasized harmony with natural cycles and respect for the spiritual dimensions of landscape, offering alternative models for understanding humanity's relationship with the environment. The artistic achievements of vanished societies demonstrate that creativity and aesthetic expression are fundamental human drives that flourish even under challenging circumstances and with limited material resources. The social organization of many lost civilizations appears to have been more egalitarian and peaceful than later hierarchical societies, suggesting that cooperation and shared governance may be more natural to human communities than competition and domination. The technological innovations of lost civilizations often emerged from practical needs and environmental constraints, showing how limitation and challenge can stimulate rather than hinder human ingenuity and problem-solving capabilities. The gradual abandonment or transformation of lost civilizations suggests that societies can choose to adapt and change direction rather than simply collapsing, indicating human agency and wisdom in navigating cultural transitions. The oral traditions and cultural memories preserved by descendant populations provide valuable insights into lost civilizations that complement archaeological evidence and remind us that cultural continuity often survives even when physical settlements disappear. The international fascination with lost civilizations reflects deep human needs for mystery, discovery, and connection to ancestral wisdom, suggesting that these vanished societies continue to serve important psychological and spiritual functions. The ongoing discovery of new lost civilization sites using modern technology indicates that many more vanished societies await rediscovery, promising continued expansion of our understanding of human cultural achievement and diversity. The preservation efforts focused on lost civilization sites demonstrate growing recognition that cultural heritage belongs to all humanity and requires international cooperation and protection for future generations. The educational value of studying lost civilizations lies not only in learning about the past, but in developing skills of observation, analysis, and interpretation that apply to understanding contemporary cultural and environmental challenges. As we reach the gentle end of our journey through 100 things about lost civilizations of the ancient world, let yourself settle into the peaceful understanding that we've explored together some of humanity's most intriguing mysteries and remarkable achievements. The wisdom we've discovered tonight reminds us that human creativity and ingenuity have deep roots, flourishing in countless societies that developed unique solutions to universal challenges of survival, meaning-making, and artistic expression. The builders of Göbekli Tepe demonstrated that humans were creating monumental sacred architecture over 11,000 years ago, long before the development of agriculture or metallurgy, revealing sophisticated spiritual and organizational capabilities in our ancient ancestors. What makes the study of lost civilizations so comforting is how it reveals the continuity of human experience across time and geography, showing that people in very different circumstances shared common drives toward beauty, community, technological innovation, and spiritual understanding. The Antikythera mechanism reminds us that knowledge and technological capability can be lost and rediscovered multiple times throughout history, suggesting that human potential is far greater than any single civilization has yet fully realized. The peaceful nature of many lost civilizations, from the Indus Valley to the Minoans, offers hope that human societies can achieve sophistication and prosperity through cooperation rather than warfare, providing models for contemporary peace-building efforts. Lost civilizations teach us about resilience and adaptation, showing how societies can persist for centuries or even millennia by carefully managing their relationships with environmental resources and maintaining cultural practices that support social cohesion. The artistic achievements of vanished societies demonstrate that creativity and aesthetic expression are fundamental human needs that find fulfillment even under challenging circumstances, inspiring contemporary artists and craftspeople to explore traditional techniques and motifs. The mystery surrounding these lost civilizations reminds us of how much we still don't know about our own past, encouraging humility about contemporary achievements and openness to discoveries that may challenge current assumptions about human development. The international cooperation required to study and preserve lost civilization sites provides models for addressing contemporary global challenges that require shared knowledge, resources, and commitment across cultural and political boundaries. As you drift towards sleep tonight, let yourself be comforted by the understanding that you are part of an unbroken chain of human creativity and cultural transmission that extends back thousands of years through countless generations of ancestors who faced challenges and created beauty in their own unique ways. The oral traditions that preserve memories of lost civilizations remind us that wisdom and cultural knowledge can survive even when physical monuments crumble, suggesting that the most important human achievements may be intangible qualities of spirit, creativity, and community connection. Let yourself rest in the knowledge that lost civilizations continue to offer guidance and inspiration to contemporary peoples seeking to build sustainable, beautiful, and meaningful societies that honor both human potential and environmental limits. The ongoing discovery of lost civilization sites assures us that human cultural heritage is far richer and more diverse than we currently understand, promising continued wonder and learning as new archaeological techniques reveal previously hidden chapters of our shared past. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as part of the great human story that includes all these vanished societies, their achievements, their struggles, and their contributions to the accumulated wisdom and beauty that surrounds us today. The legacy of lost civilizations lives on in the genetic heritage, cultural practices, artistic traditions, and environmental knowledge that descendant populations have preserved and adapted across generations, ensuring that their wisdom continues to enrich human experience. Rest well tonight, knowing that the curiosity and wonder that draws us to study lost civilizations reflects the same human drives toward exploration, understanding, and meaning-making that motivated the ancient builders, artists, and innovators whose achievements we've celebrated together. Sweet dreams, and may the gentle spirits of all the vanished peoples whose stories we've shared tonight inspire you with their creativity, resilience, and enduring contributions to the beautiful tapestry of human civilization. Good night, and may you wake refreshed with deeper appreciation for the remarkable diversity of human cultural achievement and the ongoing mystery and wonder of our shared journey through time.